In March of 2016, thousands of members of the California Faculty Association, the union that represents CSU professors and coaches, voted to go on strike. Faculty were asking for a 5% increase over 3 years as they had turned down the 2% offered by the California State University system. Around the state, faculty, student, staff, and other members in support of the strike met to make preparations while students organized protests that would coincide with the strike.
We had gone out on strike because we have not received a pay raise before that for 7 years. And faculty were struggling to make ends meet, to afford rent in what is a very high-cost area, especially in Los Angeles. We were looking at, teaching college, but not being able to afford college tuition for our own children. We had a lot of lecturers who were just having trouble buying food at the end of the month because they were being paid such low salaries.
Union members and supporters gathered in Long Beach to march and protest as they made their way to CSU Chancellor Timothy White's office, all in hopes of making sure their voices were heard. Tensions ran high as pressure was put on the CSU to settle negotiations with the CFA.
Really realized that what we did get was better than what we asked for. So we were asking for 5%. We actually ended up getting a 5% increase in June, this June coming up, and then in July we get another 2% raise, and then next year we get 3.5%. So in all, we're getting 10.5% increase. And so I think it's actually better than what we're asking for.
A portion of the tentative agreement was made available almost immediately, being short of retroactive pay. The second-year step would be made available for the fall semester of 2016. Finally, the third payment would be paid during the first half of the 2017-2018 academic year. The deal was surprising considering faculty was originally being offered a 2% increase. The administration claimed there was not enough funding available to meet the allotted amount demanded by the CFA. CSU argued that the network of universities is still recovering from the 2008 recession that hit California's economy and could not afford the price of a 5% increase. However, a non-binding fact report finder released in March 2016 revealed there was enough funding and that the 5% increase requested was justifiable. The administration denied the results of the report, which prompted the initial plan to strike. Both organizations have been at odds since salary negotiations began in May 2015, and the fact-finding report largely sided with the CFA, strengthened the resolve of professors to push for those increases with good reason.
CSUs educate more Californians in higher education than any other institution. We train more teachers, we're training nurses, social workers, engineers. We're training the people who go out and then make life possible in California. And so it's really important to support the CSUs.
A majority of professors support the deal that was reached, although some faculty members were unhappy with the negotiations process. They thought it did not take into account the money that was lost in the cost of living increase. Ultimately, CFA management approved the tentative agreement on May 3rd. Through a week-long online voting process, results showed 97% of faculty voted to approve the agreement. On May 31st, CSU Board of Trustees finally gave official approval to the new multi-year tentative agreement with the California Faculty Association. It's also worth mentioning that this is the first pay increase Cal State faculty have received since 2008. From campus, I am Aaron Espinosa.